to be in prison for 17 years. And I can't even fathom what reason could be. But behind the decks we're talking about, it could be different reasons. Let me Chacha, maybe you should just explain some of the things that really happen in the society that could make you be in prison for 17 years without even being without you committing that offense, actually, without no judgment.
We have a problem with our justice system.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment right now, in fact, you can be so unlucky that if you get arrested on a Friday, it may take the next Monday in the police station before you can, if you don't have people that are willing to put their foot down for you. They will just, even though they say bail is free, but we all know that things have to change hands before you can be bailed. So, and as a past president of a noble NGO, which you are also aware of, we've had reasons to interact with quite a lot of people. And the funniest thing is worse in female prisons. Yeah. It's actually worse in female prisons. You see most of them go in singles, and you see quite a lot of them get pregnant right in the prison. Yes! And because, see, some of us are stuck. There's this case that we are attending to at the moment that the boy actually they call it remand. Yeah, they got remanded at the age of 11, and he has spent 15 years already in detention, because every time his case is brought up in court, they don't make him appear, and he does not have family. He doesn't have family. Imagine at 11, so already staying on the street. So he really did not have anyone as a family member. And what was his offense? He had a fight with somebody in the neighborhood, and the person that went to lodge complaint, or probably when they came to do a raiding, you know what police call trying to raid? They raided everyone, and just point fingers, and they alleged that the boy actually, while fighting, cut off someone's arm, and then it's still in court. They didn't produce the machete, they didn't produce the person that the arm was cut off, and the guy was in detention 15 years. Best part of his life has been spent behind bars. So most times, that's why I'm an advocate that you should not always just judge people because of where they are coming from. You don't even know the story behind. You will be very, very shocked. I can tell you nothing. See, those that are the problem I have with innocent people is that they go about facing their business. When you see people that are criminally minded, planned their ways to work other people to suffer for what they have actually done. So you are just innocent. Yeah. They know there's somebody that will wake up in his house and say, "Oh, I want somebody to just hit me." Because it's psychologically imbalanced. Then you are driving, you are bouncing, and you hit the person, and they come to pick you. And the funniest thing, they'll put him in the hospital. You are still there. Then probably they will just say, do you know people swap? Yeah. If you know what is happening in this country, if you know what is happening, they swap prisoners. So once they come to raid like that, those, if you have money and they can swap you and put you and release the key offenders. Then you now end up staying there, because once your case is, it's not your name anymore. So they keep calling that name, but you don't appear. You can't appear because they won't produce you. Then you now end up, you see people spending years. A lot of things is happening in our justice system. And I'm scared, because there will be a person that will come that has the requisite knowledge. I thought Oshibajo was going to do that, because he did a lot of reforms when he was Attorney General in Lagos State. But sadly, I wasn't impressed with what he did with the justice system. But I know somebody will come that's what he will only focus on. He will focus on legal reforms, because that's the hope of the common man. How will 11-year? No, look at him now. 15 years. What do you mean? What do you mean?
That's outrageous. Well, anyways, I would just, to sum this up, it's not really a topic, just to celebrate his release. Congratulations to that family. I know what it is, because the sons are all grown up, and I can imagine that those children were very little when the father was sent to prison. And I'm sure the father will be like, see my children. Well, that's a good thing. And congratulations to you. Well, we have some messages here. Let's read the messages before gratitude takes us to the next story. This one says DNA is very compulsory, because we have a lot we have a lot of people who are not there. There's a word for that, but let me skip that. It's too much in our midst. Just look at how children of nowadays behave. Girls dress naked, boys sag, and that, okay. I think that is established. Good afternoon, everyone. The moment you are married in the right way, even if you showed up with the children, even if you showed up that the children didn't belong to the husband, you cannot take the children away from the man. It depends where you come from. You cannot try it from You cannot try it at where I come from. Okay, I know there are some traditions whereby once the baby becomes theirs. Please, my 1950s to 1960s, we don't have all these problems. if you have a child, it will either look like the man or the wife or any member of the family.
Exactly.
But after those years, things change to what we are seeing now. This is Simon from Lagos. So he's trying to say that we don't care about that. Once you give birth and the baby looks like the wife, that's my baby.
Go and watch
paternity
court on YouTube. I think they're on every
I watch paternity court, yes.
I've seen babies that look exactly like the man. After DNA tests, it was not the man.
Maybe they should reconduct it again.
These are the best in the world.
But you know, babies look like whoever.
And you know, there's a recent test that shows that every man a woman sleeps with, that she takes a deposit of his DNA. So the more men you sleep with, the more different composite you're building up.
So what of the main aspect of the men? You know that when a child is born right now and they start taking the futures of the mother or the father, are you really trying to tell us that?
Yeah.
If the
your baby could be the baby of your husband, whereas his physical configuration could be that of your ex.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, that's new. Yes. That's okay. We have some people nodding to this.
This, I just heard about this year. And I heard it from
really?
It's verifiable.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So
I said it's a recent discovery. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So the more men you sleep with as a woman, the more junk you are taking in biologically. That's why I always say that you cannot always say because he's doing this, I will do it. It's the consequences are different. Men are givers, women are receivers biologically.
You know, let me say this.
Yeah. Okay.
Men are judged by their future. Women marry someone that has a promising future or is already in stability zone. Women are judged by their past. It's a fact that we all must understand. So a man will rather marry a lady that is innocent. But a woman will marry someone that has close to it, that likeliness to succeed or is already stable.
In fact, the innocence of a man does not count.
Yes.
In the world of women.
In fact, a woman will...
Which world of women?
It's a woman's world, actually. Men are actually struggling in this world. Yeah. So it's actually a woman's world. Honestly, see, when I married, I was telling my wife that I'll be the one to make the bigger decisions in this family while she makes the smaller decisions. But you know, there's never been one big decision that I've ever made. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. So it's like that. It's a woman. But it's good when she does not play it as if she's the one that is in charge. It's easier for a man to just look away. But it's when the woman now begins to front it and wants to make that the man now begins to. But in all fairness, I doubt if I've ever made any. Because the big decision I want to. But the big decision has never come.
The last text that you just read out is true. We have this era of Gen Z that they talk about. They don't really care. I have issues with relationship generally now. You see, those days we talk about head counts. I don't know you men. I had something about head counts. Some people don't care. They just want to sleep with this. But it is good that out there our younger generation knows that a child future is important. Who you marry as a man is important, right? So that child's future is important because one day you will leave. That child will be here. I think that young ladies should be cautioned on and men too also should try and zip up, not to be everywhere. You know, it's becoming something else. Sex has become a normal thing, like a transaction, which is not nice. So where is this paternity test coming from? Because immorality has become a norm in the society. So which is not really okay.
Let me say something. And I'm an advocate that things will change. But you see, if women continue to say no to guys that are struggling financially, those guys will remain, they will remain focused. But you see, as soon as they make it,
they will show,
they will now go and it is not difficult for you to say they should not mess up now that they have the money.
Because nobody was there for them.
There was a time they were struggling and they didn't have anything, and girls were actually saying no. So once I'm just saying this because it's a psychological problem for guys. So most times the way they want to feel okay to them, not because they actually love, just to make sure that they are psychologically okay, is to just ask somebody out to make them feel psychologically okay. Because there were times when they were struggling and they were asking people, same lady that you are age mate or classmate will tell you are not in the same level. So he will now graduate, he will now have good job, he will now have money. There's someone who will now tell him that, don't mess around.
That's
I don't know, maybe my brother, I don't know, maybe you understand. That is why you now see when men get stabilized. The best way to help their ego,
their trauma,
that childhood trauma to
heal from their trauma, they just keep sleeping around.
If a lady now has this kind of mindset, when a guy approaches you, you begin, when you ask certain questions, you know if he's still traumatic and he's trying to heal by sleeping with you, or he wants something serious. But ladies have to live with this mindset. That's the only way you won't fall victim.
Not a lie. I agree. Totally agree with you.
Okay, let's read some more messages. This one say, what if the baby looks like his mother? Will the man still take that baby away? Like, not be interested in the baby?
In DNA test?
When it has to do with paternity test, just forget about looks. Looks, they are deceptive.
Okay, looks are deceptive. This one says DNA should be free in Nigeria since they want to make it mandatory.
The truth is, the government cannot make it mandatory.
They shouldn't make it
without
mandatory.
Subsidizing it. Are you know what I'm saying? There was a time where malaria drug was gold. But it's no longer like that. So I believe over time, with or without the government, the price for DNA, because more DNA centers, reliable DNA, they will keep popping out.
Demand and supply.
There was a time you couldn't do DNA in this country.
True.
But now we have reliable DNA centers in this country, and new ones are popping up every day. So
DNA centers.
I believe in the future it will be so subsidized. So I don't think that's going to be.
I still agree that it should not be mandatory.
It shouldn't. You're really about that. Okay, one is asking a question. This is Reverend Akola saying that does mutation have any effect on DNA tests?
That was what I was explaining. Explaining before, the recessive and the so. But let's not go into a lot of scientific details. Now, the truth is, you can. There's something that we are beginning to. There's something called cryptic pregnancy now. A lady can be pregnant and she will not even know. All of those things were not happening. So the more scientific innovations, the more some of us begin, just like what my brother just mentioned also, that for every man a lady sleeps with, there's a deposit, there's that deposit. So you don't know. So there is more scientific discovery, and that is why I'm just of the opinion that, see, you don't marry you may not like what I want to say, but it's just the fact. Number one, you don't marry a woman because you think she is beautiful. You marry a woman for her character, and for the trust level. You see, beauty is there's the right word for it. What I think is beautiful to you may actually not be beautiful. So it's perception. That's the right word. Beauty is a function of perception. So, and if you marry for character, females, if a guy marries for character and attitude, especially integrity, you will not have reasons to bother about DNA. Now, women, it's now fair when women don't make the mistake of marrying because somebody is financially stable. Because by the time he achieves stability and he has money, he will mess around because he is still traumatized from growing up. So women should marry because, one, it's someone that you see as a leader, not someone you want to probably argue with. You can count on his intelligence. You can count on how things is going. Not because things are smooth at the moment. So you will not find out that it will not want, if it is because of his leadership, he will not want to lead you astray or bring up things that will make you distrust him. So once all of that is clarified, you find out that most things is sorted.
Quickly, I want to add to that. That's mutation question. Okay, I'm not a scientist, but from the little I know, when you get the DNA results, there is always they grade it in percentage.
Yes.
Okay.
That Mr. So and so by so and so and so percent. So that is why those actors, those Black Americans, can trace their ancestry back to Africa, to the country, and even to the part of that country. So when Wesley Snipes came and said, "I'm an Anambra," I was originally from Anambra. It was because of DNA. So mutation cannot change it. The worst that can happen is that instead of saying 90% correct, you might say 50% or something. So now that's when I begin to question, why is it not 90? Why is it not? So all of those informations can be gotten. Your mutation cannot erase your DNA.
Okay, well, I had just had to Google that to be certain, but it says that yes, mutations can affect DNA tests, especially paternity tests and disease screening tests, because they are changes in the DNA sequence that can lead to discrepant results or false positive/negative results. So there are some things that can actually affect even the DNA test result.
Okay.
So that's what it's trying to say.
So maybe the patient should even specify what type of mutation.
Okay, yeah, maybe you should specify what kind. But our time is up already. We can't even pick any calls right now. Well, the last message for today says laziness and get quick rich and get quick. Okay, and quick gets rich syndrome is enough for DNA test. Only a few females are faithful. This is someone from. Yeah.
I think guys are more unfaithful. It's just that women get more caught.
Okay.
That is fine. Yes. Thank you very much.
That's a man speaking.
That's
okay, but we can't get
women are specialists.
Okay.
I agree.
Are you praising us or you're giving us? I'm trying to understand. Are you praising our success?
I am saying that
names?
If a man goes to steal, he's easily caught. A woman in stealing is a sniper.
What?
Okay, let's just stop there because we have to start going deep. Well, another one, we are getting more messages, so I can't even read out a lot of messages anymore. But this one says, when you want to marry a person, you have to look at the heart and not the face. Another says, many married young ladies are practicing movies, not marriages. How did you know that? It's from Ike. Anyway, we wrap up the show at this junction. Apologies to all those who are calling. We could not pick. I honestly thought we were going to pick holes and we couldn't even deal with all the topics we had for today. Yeah. But it's been so much fun with Femi Chacha, with Patricia, and Success. Thank you all for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much. So, anyways, we'll just call it a wrap. I will see you pretty soon. Thank you everyone for watching too. I will see you on the buzz tomorrow. It's going to be a Friday edition from the entertainment world and of course what's trending. Until then, have a beautiful Thursday for yourself. My name is Just Blossom. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of The Buzz. It was really insightful. It was really educative, and I'm very sure you took something very good home, like we all did. Thank you so much for watching. See you same time, same place tomorrow for Thank God It's Friday. It's your girl, Gratitude in Mokwede. Goodbye.